underline originality and mechanics and correctness. Make sure everything is absolutely 100% grammatically correct. And don't trust autocorrect.
For literature.
Yeah, for literature. This is for writing. It can be fiction, nonfiction, research papers, essays, whatever you want. It can be a culmination, but it has to be 15 to 20 pages. For your 2D, it should be 10 to 20 pages, 20 pieces. So, do you get more points for having 20? If you only have 10 pieces, don't turn in more than 10 pieces. 10 fabulous, strong pieces. You don't want to ruin with 10 so-so pieces. Okay? Photography of a portfolio. There's certain methods here, and again, if you have someone at school, and this would be somebody who, okay, so we have a great photographer.
I can help you with your portfolio.
Yeah. It's so important that you take her up on her offer. We are not able to actually tangibly see the piece. Photography will never do the original piece absolute justice. It just won't. We don't want anything taken away. So these are some things to consider. Now, the other thing that you could do, I would suggest, is read over, even though we have someone who's willing to do a wonderful job taking your pictures. You want to help that photographer out by picking pieces that are going to photograph well. So go ahead and read through all the techniques for photographing your artwork. And keep in mind when you're picking things, what is going to photograph and read well.
And you got to make an appointment with me.
How long in advance?
I would say at least a week to 2 weeks in advance. Make an appointment and we'll set something up.
Most teachers say 4 weeks.
Yeah. That doesn't mean I'll be available. It just means we can try. And if I'm not available, then we'll find a time I am.
3D work, like it's in a catalog in an art museum. Okay.
Not a bunch of clutter behind it.
You want to be able to read it. Now you can, and I think this is an important maturation decision that you can illustrate, is am I going to take just one straight picture of my piece, or am I going to take several views? Because each of those views is viewed as a piece in and of itself in some respects, but sometimes the piece in the whole needs more than one point of view. So
when they say 10 slides or 10 images, 2 of them might come from the same piece.
That's a little risky. That would be the time I think I would, if I had 10 pieces and I had one 3D, and my 3D really was not being done justice by one shot, that's when I probably would extend my portfolio.
Right.
And they appreciate that. A lot of times you look at portfolios and you're like, ooh, can I turn that? I want to see what's on the backside. So this gives you some techniques there. The other thing that you can do is you can experiment, because you all have digital cameras or access them. You go ahead and you experiment and make the photographer's job easy by having some of your ideas of maybe how you might want to have this read, and you can discuss it. So you can take some pictures of your pieces and determine, especially 3D pieces, how you think it's kind of cool, and maybe convey how you have that point of view. The other thing in Slide Room that you have the ability to do is it's really important for you to describe the piece. If we take a picture, of this, my perception is this piece is about 2 inches tall, right? Doesn't look like it's a little piece. It reminds me of like a little paperweight. But I don't know. It may be 35 feet tall. You have to describe the dimensions. You have to describe your point of view, but you don't want to get too involved if you did something special and interesting with the medium. You have an opportunity to describe that. Remember, we don't get to talk to you about your pieces. Your pieces have to speak for itself in a small description. Do you girls have any questions before you go?
No.
Okay, great.
Thank you for coming.
Sure.
Is there a specific way the file name needs to read? Because I know Georgia State is very particular about the name of the file and how it needs to be.
It will be all outlined here, and I don't think so. I don't think so. And you want to make sure, though, that you do put in any important elements. A student actually did a piece of artwork that was done out of gum wrappers, but you couldn't tell it looked like aluminum. Looked like she had bent aluminum over this sculpture. It was absolutely magnificent. She needed to describe that.
Pastor Sergeant
Any questions?
Underwood, could you please call